To my daughter-in-law, Nikki, in Texas, she's battling breast cancer. To my grandchildren in Texas, you know, God got y'all. You know, and you know your grandmama here. You know, your grandmama leave on a whim and a dime. You know, so I know Nikki is strong, and we're just praying for her. And to everybody out there, a Merry Christmas before I forget, because I have two distinguished guests today. No, I said two. I have the Honorable Sheriff.
Long time in the making.
Long time in the making. Sheriff Tyree Jones.
Who just celebrated his 44th
That's right.
birthday.
We hollered his birthday out last week, didn't
we did.
Yeah, we called his name all over the place.
You know,
I appreciate it.
that's right.
Yeah. You know, he kind of sounded like Tyrone when he said that. I appreciate it.
Tyrone.
Lewis?
Oh,
okay. But,
you know, I be looking for ways for our departments to do fundraisers.
but I got to say one more guest coming.
Okay, don't say that. Y'all go back to my fundraiser.
And all the way from Hollywood, California, we have Derek Delaney. He's coming in to talk about the movie. They're doing the movie Mahalia Jackson, Remember Me. And he's playing the young Louis Armstrong. And they have Legacy in the movie. And just a whole lot of good artists. And George, we want our 50%.
That's right. We need our cut.
Whatever.
We're gonna talk about this after the show.
No, we talking about it now. We're gonna put you on blast.
I was gonna say we have to be careful when we say we got long.
Oh, he cool. He know us. He know we sometimes.
But you know, we was talking about fundraising.
Right.
You know, I talked to, Chief Willie Jones about this calendar with all these, nice men and stuff.
Willie Owens.
What I say?
Willie Jones.
Oh yeah, Willie. Oh, that's his stepmom name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Them men got you messed up. Yeah.
So when you have a department of such nice eye candy.
You right, baby.
You know, hey, I think y'all should get together and do a calendar.
Y'all
Yes,
fast.
Can I get a witness?
God.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
so
talking about.
Just a calendar.
A man of the year.
You know, men in uniform.
January.
Men in uniform.
February.
Yeah.
March.
I mean, I know the department needs extra revenue. I think they just be hey, just a way.
We need extra revenue too.
Well, we
Yeah, we can
talking
sell
about for the departments. We talking about some of Jackson and County finance.
Okay.
Hey, we want to make sure that
I can
Hines
say.
County has all the resources and equipment that they need, and this is a way that we probably get some funds. I'm just saying. It's just a suggestion.
I can take the pictures.
You can take pictures.
Yeah.
No, we need for real talk. See, we don't want that bootleg. We don't want that bootleg pictures. We want some real pictures that's gonna make some money on them calendars.
Okay.
Just a thought, Sheriff. Just a thought.
Just a thought, Sheriff.
It's definitely a thought. You're right.
On your budget, if your budget start looking funny, you just need, hey.
Yeah.
I know y'all got some nice
Just-
looking men on your force.
Yes, Lord.
And you can take the monthly
God is
choice.
good all the time.
Hey, you can do it. All right, anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome
to the show,
So happy to
Sheriff.
have you here.
Well,
We
thank
are
you.
so glad that you are here, and I'm trying to.
Well, thank you for having me, and it's definitely a pleasure to be here in this role, in this capacity. Of course, during my campaign, I visited the station several times.
Yes.
So it's definitely, I'm humbled, very, to be in this role and to be back with you all, to share whatever news it is that I can deliver to you and to the people as it relates to myself and the Hines County Sheriff's Office as well.
And you know what? I see that the Sheriff's Department is going to be doing great things. You all have a couple of programs you're looking at too, right?
Well, we have some programs that we're looking at, and of course, we are still dealing with the issue surrounding our detention facilities right now. So that's very priority right now for me and for the administration moving forward, because the ultimate goal is to be able, well, the response has been sent to the Department of Justice and the Judge Carlton Reeves,
Right.
based on the show cause order that was delivered back 3 or 4 weeks ago. So we responded. Of course, we're waiting now for further correspondence regarding that issue. But at the same time, we're still addressing the issues of the consent decree and what we are faced with regarding detention services as well.
Well, you know, I hear all the time that they say that you have to fix the jail. So, and I know that the Hinds County Sheriff's Department is the tenant. And I know the Board of Supervisors are the landlord. I'm like a glass night now. So so we know we're looking at maybe $3-4 million to fix it, right?
I don't have a dollar amount, but what I can tell you, it is an steady evolving. It's a very fluid situation, and of course, you know, money does play a major role in it.
Right.
So, as you stated, the Board of Supervisors are the owners or the tenants of the facility. The sheriff is the tenant. We are responsible for the security. We are responsible for the employment of the detention officers, and we are responsible for the detainees that are housed there, getting them back and forth to court appearances, transportation, and other issues regarding the detainees that are in the facility.
Okay, now do you think after all this is over, do you think there would be a way where we can get the detainees back out here cleaning what happened to you, dear? Come on in here, baby, have a seat right here, we got you. Lord, you got a pillow. Hey, love, you flew all the way in like that. I came and got you. Oh, I like young men when they kiss me, they just get it, chill up. Anyway, what was I saying?
She done lost it.
I
We
lost
were talking about programs. We were talking about detainees
Thank you.
with programs. So let me explain to you how the program situation worked once upon a time.
You know, that's John Delaney.
Before the consent decree, we housed state inmates, okay?
Right.
But due to the consent decree, we no longer house state inmates. So that's where a lot of the programs that people saw.
He used to play drama for the Violent Up years ago.
Those were trustees that were in these programs. They were able to get out of the detention facility, be able to participate in cleanup crews, some down at the fairgrounds, they cooked, they did a lot of things. So due to the fact that the Department of Justice and Department of Corrections,
He been in scandal, you know.
we no longer house state inmates. So once you're convicted, if you're still in our facility at some particular point in time, you're going to be transferred to the Department of Corrections. So that's why we no longer have some of the programs that we had. So everybody that's in our facility are either waiting to go to trial, waiting to be indicted, or they can't bond out. So that's the issues that we're facing right now as it relates to programs.
Okay. See, now I'm getting to understand it, because I hear people say, well, you know, they gotta have the people on the street cleaning up. So now you all understand why they're not out here doing what needs to be done. 2022 is getting ready to roll around real fast.
3 days away.
You know, and I'm just saying this, how did you feel with these 17, 16, 15-year-olds was running rampant out here? Because they're children.
It's heartbreaking.
Is there anything that, the community, the citizens, because like I tell a lot of people, you can't blame the sheriff's department, you can't blame the JPD, you can't blame the mayor's office. Is there any restrictions that can be put upon the mothers and the fathers of these 17 and 16-year-olds, because we're losing our children every day.
You know, and I've been in law enforcement for 22 years, and I've always said that we are not responsible. Law enforcement is not responsible for raising people's children.
Right.
You know, we can be a part of the village as it relates to support,
Right.
but it still has to start at home. You
Yes,
know,
it does.
so we can't be responsible for what happens once those children step outside the walls
That's
of
right.
their home. You know, but we can play a role in trying to prevent it. But how can we prevent something that we have no knowledge of?
Right.
So without having knowledge of potential problems in the house, in the schools, then we're only a responding agent at that particular time.
Correct.
So when we're a responding agent, we have to enforce the law.
Mm-hmm.
If a law has been broken, we have to hold these individuals responsible and accountable for the actions that they have done in our communities. And unfortunately, in this particular situation, it's very tragic.
Yes, it
You know,
is.
you have children, like you said,
Yes.
that are out here committing crimes against victims, innocent victims.
Right.
And it's very senseless. But it's too late to prevent it because the precursors or the ingredients that were there to show that this was about to happen, law enforcement was excluded, okay?
Right.
So now we have to do our jobs. We have to do exactly what we need to do to prevent it from happening again as it relates to holding these people accountable, making sure that they are processed through the criminal justice system and held accountable for their actions.
So what I'm thinking about was a couple of years ago, and I don't know if this works for the state of Mississippi, but is there any kind of way that we can, well, I wanted to start a program, you know, because I think the children need to vent.
Mm-hmm.
They leave home, they're mad. I see it every day. They mad, they take it out on their mamas, their daddies. They're mad because they don't have this, they don't have that, you know, and their reactions, you know. And at one point I was talking with the Sheriff's Department and JPD to see if we can come up with a community center where they can come in and just talk about the problems that they have. Maybe we can work on their problems. These people, all children, adults, it doesn't matter. Everybody needs somebody to listen to.
That's true.
Everybody needs somebody to know that they care. You know, so we did a block party about a month or so ago over in the neighborhood, and the people was just so, you know, excited about it because they was like, well, nobody never comes over here. Nobody checks on us, you know, and this is what we're trying to do in the city of Jackson. So what I'm asking for everybody for
Y'all got a new
2020,
pastor now.
we have
Y'all got a
to
new
start
pastor
getting
now.
out more.
Nice.
Well, we know it's kind of chilly right now. We have to start getting out more.
He ain't no Reverend Knight now.
Checking on the kids. If you see the kids out here doing
For
something,
real.
let's start being a
Young guy over there.
Let's start making the children go in the house. I mean, I rode down in the bottom around the corner, and they was outside, they were doing all kinds of stuff. And I said, what y'all doing? Miss Wanda, we just, you don't do that on the corner. You know, if they respect you, because see, like I tell anybody, I'm not scared. I don't sit behind a mic. You know,
And you
we have to
you the
help
easy
our law
one.
enforcement.
So
We
you
have to
don't
get out
like
here
that
and
dog.
show that we care. We have
You
to
got to be
start
terrible.
going in the neighborhood because sitting behind a mic,
For real?
and I don't mean no harm, pastors, sitting behind the pew, sitting on Facebook, you're not doing anything. We have to start somewhere.
That's true, and that's where law enforcement plays a role.
Yeah.
You know, it's what we refer to as community policing, networking with every stakeholder in the community to be able to make a difference. So whether you are a church group,
Yeah.
a radio personality, a radio host, or whatever, these are all stakeholders that can make a difference in the community with law enforcement involved.
Right.
When it comes to violence, and some of the violence that we're currently faced with today in our community is due to lack of conflict resolution.
Reverend Knight wife
It's
still
due
going in?
to somebody having an issue or a problem with somebody, and the only resolution is gunplay. It's due to retaliation. You know, it's no secret. You know, the young men that were arrested last week and charged, it's my understanding that a lot of that has been retaliation shooting back and forth. So the people in the community know these things.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know what's going on. They know the people that are responsible.
They know it.
So the trust between the community and law enforcement needs to be very strong, where these people can report to law enforcement who these individuals are, why they're doing it, where they are, allow law enforcement to intervene and hopefully prevent more of these tragic shootings, more of these tragic disputes turning into shootings as well.
Right.
So that's very important. Communication between law enforcement
Yes.
and the community and other stakeholders in the community as well. You know, whereas somebody may have information that they feel that they can trust you all with.
Right.
Give you all the information. You give it to us and allow us to be able to take the information and make a difference in the community, whether it's holding these individuals accountable or being able to take preventive measurements to keep it from happening again.
But the problem we have is the community is scared. See, and I hear it all the time. I hear, you know, people call me all the time. Well, Miss Evers, we can't call JPD because, or we can't call this person or that person because they'll come over to our house. You know, my thing is, and I asked Chief Davis, why is it that if you have a concerned citizen calling you, telling you what these boys are doing, why would they leave from point A and walk across the street to point B? That's putting those people at a target. You know, so I think that the police officers in Jackson has to be retrained. You know, I know they say it's a lot of them out here that, but anyway, you have to be mindful of what you're doing when you're policing. You can't go into a neighborhood and try to talk to these boys and then walk across the street to Miss Annie's house and say, well, we told them. Because guess what? A day or two later, Miss Annie gonna be dead.
Yeah, you putting other people in harm's way. So, you know, during my career with the Jackson Police Department and throughout my career, I have investigated some of the most violent crimes that have happened in our communities, okay? So I consider myself successful doing that, but I was able to establish a trust factor between myself and the people that were reporting the information. So being anonymous, you should always remain anonymous. Unless you say, I want to testify in court.
Right.
Well, if you have the right to not want to testify in court. But your information should be valuable.
Yes, it
The
should.
information you have. So being able to relay that information to law enforcement taking that information and developing and solving some of the cases is very important. But you want to make sure that Ms. Jones, Ms. Smith, Ms. Johnson, or whoever reports that information to you does not get identified as the
That's
person
right.
that's responsible.
Because see, I'm gonna start
Right.
looking at you.
Right.
Because if you run over to my house, then you must be involved with what they're doing across the street. So, and so I've been working with people and I've been telling people, if you see anything, and I told a lot of people, just call the Hines County Sheriff's Department.
Right.
Because a lot of people do not trust JPD no more.
You know, and it's not anything negative against the Jackson Police Department
Right.
because there are still some good men and women
Yes, it is.
that are dedicated to fighting crime and solving crime in the community. And you know, while I was campaigning and even since I've been elected, a lot of people ask, do you plan to have a strong working relationship with the police department? Well, my answer is yes. Even though I've been gone from there for over 2 years, I still had a very strong network and working relationship with the people there. I have helped them solve some of the crimes in the community because people have been able to still trust me no matter the position that I'm
Right.
in to bring me the information. So when they bring me the information, what do? I call my people at the Jackson Police Department. I say, hey, this is coming from me. You know, I have this information for you. I hope that it can help you.
Yes.
And whatever help you need on the outside of that, I'm willing to help you as well. So I plan to continue doing that, you know. So I still consider myself working for the Jackson Police Department, you know, because we all have to work.
Everybody
together.
has to
Everybody has
be
to work
sitting at the
together.
table,
Right.
and that's what, you know, we have to
My
understand.
thing is when
You
they
know,
don't
we gotta
work,
take a station break right quick.
You are listening to 90.1 FM WMPR Jackson, Mississippi, and on the web at WMPR901FM.com. We are your 100,000 watt powerhouse and the voice of the community.
And we're back with Coffee and Conversation, where you all know the conversation is always the house of coffee. Right now we have our sheriff, Tyree Jones, in the house. And we also have all the way from California, Mr. Derek Delaney. He's in the house also. So we're going to keep our conversation going with our sheriff, because I think he got some work to do. But we gonna hold him a little while longer.
No, I'm good.
Okay, great.
I was just about to say when law enforcement don't work together, only the criminals win.
Yeah.
They're the ones that win. So when confidentiality is not kept, when the citizens don't feel safe, like they can go and share valuable information that officers or law enforcement may need to help solve a crime or add to an investigation, only the criminals win.
That's it.
I'd like to ask a question, if it pertains to 355 tips. I know it's Christmas time, a lot of people could use some bonus money by calling 601-355 tips. But do you guys still actually utilize the information that people call in with?
Yes, we do. That's our Crime Stoppers. You know, we urge people all the time to call Crime Stoppers 355 tips. Report that information. You will remain anonymous. And if your information is found to be valuable or beneficial to an investigation, yes, you will receive compensation for your information as well. So we do still actively use it. We have people